I'm sorry, but it just says GC on the. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right, GC, everyone, give it up for GC.
GC here, and there's a lot of problems in the world today, and every now and then I like to solve, one of these problems. There's a couple of boys and girls groups out in South Central LA, Los Angeles, the other LA, and they don't like each other very much. I'm talking about Crips and Bloods. And actually, I don't know if they even love females in these groups. But to be fair, do you remember the YouTube movement that was going on a couple years ago? Remember that? Good times. But you would think they would be letting gangster bitches in these clubs these days. But honestly, I don't know. And I'm actually a little bit of ashamed because first thing I want to say is I got no problems, quarrels, or beefs with anybody. I'm not packing or anything, but I am a Crip. And I didn't choose Crip life. I did not. Crip life chose me. Yes. There was a comedian on America's Got Talent this year, and he too is a Crip. And he said that you are only one bad bike ride away from joining our group. And he was right, like spot on. Because that's how I got in. That's how I joined. I was on my CBR and I got hit by a van, and then I hit the earth like, you ever seen Man of Steel? Zack Snyder's Superman? And like Superman and Zod, they're fighting at the end, they come crashing down through buildings and shit and they hit the earth. Like, that's how I hit it, just like that. And I have no recollection of my accident, but every time I watch that movie, I start having Vietnam flashbacks. I'm like saying shit like, I was in the jungle once. And technically I was in Vietnam, but that's a tale for another time. But yes, I had like no memory of my accident. I was, for a couple days, some family and friends came and visited me, and my cousin Mark, he told me that we were talking, and I looked at him seriously and called him Grampy, who was he was our ping pong hustling grandfather from back in the day. But I was out of it. For me, like, I woke up 2 days later in the ICU and I had metal out of my leg, I had metal coming out of my arm, my hand. I was like, what the fuck happened? And my family's like, you got in an accident. And I was like, yeah, like, no shit, like, what gave it away? The fact that I'm looking like fucking early stages of the next RoboCop? Like, yeah, I know, but that is something like you don't ever want to check off your bucket list, is ending up in the ICU, not knowing how the fuck you got there. I mean, technically I know how I got there, it was by a helicopter, but I have no memory of this helicopter ride. I don't know if I loved it, if it was glorious. I don't know if I was terrified or scared. I have no memory. I don't even know if I can check it off, the bucket list. I have no idea. But anyways, it was all done. But you might know Snoop Dogg. He is one of our more famous members of the Crips. Like him and, remember that guy, little guy in the wheelchair that talked like a robot? Right? Probably our two most famous members, them two, right there. And Snoop, like, he does this thing like sea walk, or like, for those who aren't down, it's called like Crip walk. And if you don't know, now you know, I guess. Martha Stewart said that, yeah. You might know that bitch is gangster, since she got out of prison. Like, word on the street, she keep a shank in her prison purse. So, the more you know, right? And if you don't know, no, I'm just kidding. But no one's half the battle. Genghis Khan said that. But so yeah, Snoop, he got a nice sea walk. And a few years back, I got my knee replaced. Guess what my fake knee's made out of? Just guess.
Titanium?
No, platinum. That's right. My knee got more street cred than this room. But I mean, to be fair, this is Maine, right? But anyways, the Crip and Blood feud, right? For those that don't know what this is about, it's about fashion. The Bloods, right? They wear red. They love wearing red. I know not everybody looks good in red, but they love wearing red. And sometimes they will shoot and kill Crips for wearing blue. You know why Crips wear blue? Anyone? It's to match the handicap parking thing that you hang in your mirror. Because brothers love to coordinate. They do. They want to match. And speaking of handicap parking, one time at band camp, no, I'm just kidding. But one time at Walmart, I did park in handicap and I got out, and this Johnny Hero was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing parking in handicap? And I just pointed at my knee and I said, hey, fake knee, nah. And yeah, he looked confused. He's like, what? He's like, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. And thank you for your service. But no, I'm just kidding. I didn't tell him about nah, but I did say, fake knee. And he was just like, my bad. And you're probably wondering what credentials I have to solve this problem. Well, the C in GC stands for couture, or if you're in the fashion industry, or if you're a superficial bitch, couture, you might say. But you might say fashion is in my blood, it's in my DNA. So I have the answer. If Crips and Bloods, if they would just go out and buy Red Sox and Patriots gear, as you can see, Red Sox, red and blue. Patriots, red and blue. Not only would they be joining the greatest sports nation in America, but think about all the fashion violence that we will cut down in by them joining the Red Sox Nation or Patriots Nation. Plus, think about it. You go to a Yankees game with a bunch of Crips and Bloods, and you got a couple of hard pipe-hitting niggas, and they start chanting, Yankees suck! Yankees suck! Yankees suck! I mean, forget about it. That's what we in the business call two birds getting stoned on one joint. Problems? I got solutions. Thank you. Namaste.
CG, everyone. Creating issues and solving ones.